Welcome to this relaxation session. You can enjoy this session anytime you want to relax, or when you're ready to sleep. Relaxation is something we all know how to do. So now you can just take it easy and allow yourself to switch off. Allow your attention to drift as you continue to relax, easily and effortlessly. And I want you to start by thinking about the top of your head. Many people don't realise that tension often starts in the little muscles of the scalp. So I want you to think about those little muscles and enjoy thinking about them. And the skin of your scalp. And just allow them to let go and relax. Now all the muscles of your face, just let them go slack. Your forehead and your eyes and eyelids. The cheeks, mouth and jaw muscles, really enjoying that wonderful feeling when you let your head and your face just totally relax. And the more you physically relax, the more you can mentally relax. Thinking about your neck and shoulder muscles now and into the tops of your arms, down through your elbows, into your forearms, down through your wrists and into your hands, right the way down into the very tips of your fingers and tips of your thumbs, just letting all those muscles let go and relax. And now you can allow your attention to move effortlessly to all the other parts of your body and notice just how relaxed they can become. Your chest and your breathing. Noticing how your breathing has already become slower and steadier. And your stomach. And your back. The long muscles either side of the spine. The main thigh muscles. As you think on down through your knees. The shins. Calves, ankles, feet, right the way into the very tips of your toes. All the muscles of your body beautifully relaxed and easy. And now, staying perfectly relaxed with your eyes closed, imagine yourself standing on the very top of a green hill on a tropical island. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your head and shoulders and can see the long grass around you moving slightly in the gentlest of breezes. When you look down the hill, you can see a narrow winding path that disappears into a small forest. And beyond the forest, you can see the ocean, with sunlight from the clearest of blue skies glancing off the tops of the waves in the bay, so that the whole ocean seems to shimmer and sparkle. You begin to move lazily and easily down the path, with the ferns and grasses brushing gently against your legs as you pass. And you just catch the faint smell of salt borne in on the breeze, and become aware of the distant sound of the ocean on the shore. Maybe hear seabirds calling faintly from a long way off. You marvel at the deep sense of calmness and tranquility that sweeps over you as you move on down and down through and towards the forest, moving so easily, so effortlessly, you feel almost as though you're floating on air. And in no time at all, you find yourself drifting through the trees, their leaves closing overhead to form a canopy, their branches making an irregular pattern against the clear blue of the sky. It's pleasantly cool in the forest, and the gentle sound of birds singing, echoing faintly. And the scent of the trees and undergrowth relaxes you still further, as you move easily into the inviting depths, becoming lazier and lazier with each step you take. You can hear a stream somewhere, its gurgling sound gradually mingling with the sound of the ocean. as you follow the winding path down and down towards the beach that you know is in front of you, weaving through the trees and brushing aside the occasional piece of foliage until, quite suddenly, you feel the welcoming warmth of the sun on your head and shoulders again, and you find yourself on a beautiful, deserted beach. A beautiful golden shoreline sweeping away from you in a gentle curve in front of you, to a distant point where the trees seem to come right down to the shoreline, so that their branches actually seem to overhang the ocean itself. You can feel the sand warm between your toes as you stroll lazily across the broad beach to the water's edge. The sand becomes a darker golden colour when you get there, and you enjoy the change to a moist, firm coolness beneath your feet as you wander along the shore, leaving a lazy trail of footprints in the sand behind you. Every so often a larger than usual wave sends rivulets of water foaming around your feet, and as they recede, you notice how the sand is washed away from tiny coloured pebbles, glinting like jewels in the sun. The smell of the ocean, the sunlight on the waves, the sound of the water hissing over the sand. All these things seem to make time and space seem less important for some unknown reason. And you find yourself a comfortable position, a grassy hollow maybe, to just sit and gaze out across the rolling depths to the horizon, trickling warm, golden sand idly through your fingers. There's a faint haze that makes it difficult for you to see exactly where the sky stops and the ocean starts. And as you try to fathom it out, you see a small white cloud appear from somewhere near the horizon. It comes towards the island quite quickly, growing larger as it approaches, until it's immediately overhead, the largest, fluffiest, whitest cloud you can never remember seeing. And you somehow know, just by instinct, that you can let all your worries, all your cares, all your fears, just drift up towards this large white cloud. You can actually see them drifting away from you in a long, slow spiral. Maybe like smoke from a bonfire, just spiraling away from you towards this large white cloud. The cloud absorbs all your worries into itself, swallowing up all your fears and anxieties, and becoming steadily darker all the time, until, just as it reaches its darkest, just as the last part of that spiral of your worries and cares disappears inside it, the sun bursts through, dispelling every one of your worries, every one of your fears and anxieties, to the edges of the universe, leaving you totally relaxed and perfectly at ease with yourself, without a single care in the world. And now, all your troubles and cares having floated away from you, you settle yourself down into a comfortable position and just drift off into a deep and relaxing sleep. And while you sleep, you have a dream. You dream you're walking down a long corridor, stretching away in front of you in a long, gentle curve, so long that you can't actually see the end of it. But you know that this corridor is in the very depths of your subconscious mind, in the part of your mind that knows just what to do and just how to do it. And as you begin to move along this beautiful corridor, becoming even more relaxed, even more lazy, you realize that time and space are beginning to lose their meaning. And slowly the walls of the corridor seem to dissolve, leaving you in a large room. The room is full of a gentle golden light that relaxes you still further, and you suddenly realize with a surge of inspiration and pleasure that what you once saw as limits are merely stepping stones to greater success. It suddenly dawns on you with a surge of joy and anticipation that what once seemed to you to be the limits of your personality, of your skills and abilities, are nothing more than stepping stones to even greater success. One wall of this room is like a huge television screen, with words and images flashing across it too fast for you to see, and you realize that this is information being transmitted to different parts of your mind and body. You use your mind to will it to stop, and as you do so, the screen clears and the word "ready" appears in large, flashing letters. And now on this screen you can make a moving picture. A picture of you doing some or all of the things that you most want to do. A picture of you as you see yourself, having accomplished all the desired changes. The unwanted patterns of behaviour have ceased. Everything is exactly as you want it to be. See it, feel it, know it, experience it. Everything just as you want it to be. The picture becoming clearer, brighter, bigger. The new picture dominates the screen. Brilliant, beautiful, wonderful. And you can leave the picture in the mirror of the mind to serve as an attracting force. And it will. Just want it to happen. Know it can happen. It happens. You struggled with your problems in the past and tried to outrun the shadow of your past conditioning. Now you can relax. Just relax and create the attracting force from the stillness. And be amazed at the quality of the success that you attract. And now, as you continue to rest peacefully, you can allow any or all of these scenes, or some other scene entirely, to play on in the background of your mind, as the screen itself slowly fades, and you know that as you continue now, as you sleep and as you dream, you know that everything can be just right, and you know what that feels like, don't you? Everything just as you want it to be. You can continue now to rest peacefully and comfortably. And as you're pondering on those thoughts, I want to tell you a story. The three nomads were preparing to sleep. It was pitch black in the middle of the desert and getting cold. They had parked their camels, taken what they needed from the saddlebags, pitched their tents, and rolled out their sleeping mats. They were just about to settle down for the night when their attention was attracted to a curious, glowing light on the horizon. As they watched, the light brightened. It gained intensity, it gleamed and glowed and glistened, galloping towards them until it filled the whole of the night sky. And they knew, each one absolutely knew, they were in the presence of some kind of divine being. And they waited for the words which they knew would come. And the words came, And the words said, "Go forth into the desert, gather as many pebbles as you can, and tomorrow will find you delighted, disappointed, and very, very curious." And that was it. There was no more, only silence. And the light receded back from where it had come until all was dark again except for the twinkling of the stars high in the black night. And the nomads were furious. "What kind of god is this?" demanded one. "Gather pebbles? Who does he think we are? Menials? Rubbish collectors? I belong to a proud race, that I should stoop so low." Another added, "Now a real god would have done things differently. A real god would have shared secrets with us, would have told us how to eradicate poverty and suffering, or how to prevent global warming, or how to irrigate the desert." "A real god," said the third, "would have given us the key to success, given us the winning lottery numbers, shown us how to become rich and famous." But perhaps because of their memory of the purity of the light, or the resonant authority of the voice that spoke the words, the nomads went out into the desert, still grumbling and complaining, perfunctorily gathered a few pebbles and threw them grudgingly into the depths of their saddlebags. And then they went to bed. The next morning dawned fine. The nomads rolled up their sleeping mats, dismantled their tents, stowed them in their saddlebags, and set off for the next oasis. They rode with the sun arcing high overhead, across steep dunes and through deep rocky canyons. They rode all day, until, as the sun sank in the west, they saw its reflection glinting on the lake at the centre of the oasis they sought. And they went through the ritual they went through every day. They parked their camels, they pitched their tents, they unrolled their sleeping mats. And then, one of the nomads went over to look for something in his saddlebag, and as he rummaged around, his hand closed on something small, round and hard, a pebble, and when he pulled it out and to his amazement discovered it was a diamond, he couldn't believe it. And he searched for and pulled out the others, calling to his companions, and they too found that all their pebbles had become diamonds. And you can imagine how delighted they were. Until they realized how few they'd collected the previous evening. And you can imagine how disappointed they were. But after a while, they got to thinking about the meaning of all this. These pebbles, which the previous night they'd considered so worthless, were now precious. And they began to wonder how many other things in their lives, things that they'd previously considered of little or no consequence in the past, might have a value that they hadn't discovered or considered yet. And they began to get more and more curious about discovering meanings under the surface of things, which now they were beginning dimly to comprehend, with growing excitement and wonder. Now, each and everything you do better than you've ever done before. You approach each new task with complete ease of mind, knowing that you are relaxed and in a perfect frame of mind. Calm, relaxed and confident. Every day your confidence grows. That means that tomorrow your confidence grows, and the day after it grows stronger than before. As you practice being more and more confident, so your confidence grows and becomes stronger as more and more your feelings of self-worth become strong and powerful. Each day, with each new situation, whenever you need to, you take control. Calm your mind. Disregard troubles, and you are calm, relaxed, poised, competent, and confident. You are your own person. And you know that as you continue now, as you sleep and as you dream, or as you continue with other things, you know that your powerful, creative, intellectual, subconscious mind will continue to process and achieve all sorts of things which are good for you, things which are for your greatest benefit. Everything can be just right. And you do know what that feels like, don't you? Everything just as you want it to be. You can continue now to rest peacefully and comfortably.